This is one of those plays I feel like I should be charging people for. Yo, what is going on, Yeet Nation? We're back with Madden 24 action. And today we're going to be going over a disgusting money play in pistol double stack. All the way across the screen, PAY cross is going to be the absolute disgusting every defense beater play, where you can see, if you're able to zoom in, 300 calls, almost 300 calls, for an average of 13 yards per pop. It's absolutely disgusting. You're gonna find this play in the Chargers, and most importantly, the Cowboys playbook. And if you're, of course, if you're a subscriber to the channel, and if you've seen my previous tip just before this one, you're gonna see that it is also in the Cowboys playbook. It is the under center right here, under center tight doubles play. And of course, if you combine these two plays into a mini scheme or a scheme in general, you're going to have an offense that is absolutely unstoppable. So we're going to be going over a bunch of different defenses, and I'm going to show you exactly how you're able to dissect. And once you see exactly how you're able to just kind of use this play to manipulate zones, beat man defense, it's going to be crazy, and you're going to see it yourself. I apologize, but there might be a little bit more pre-talking while I break everything down before I actually kind of start getting to the reads and everything, because there is a lot to digest on this play. But right now we are starting with a standard cover 3 on defense, and you're going to see a lot of cover 3 and cover 1 man when you call this play, because of course on the offensive side, as you can see, it is a perfectly symmetrical play. So if I flip it, you're not going to see any movement, you're not going to see any adjustment. You can just flip it, and it is a perfectly symmetrical play at it. So your opponent usually is going to try to match that. You're going to see a lot of cover 3 zone, cover 1 man, and you're going to see a lot of the 6-1 even, and of course a 2-3-6 dollar, I believe, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. You're going to see a lot of those, which adds to our advantage, because usually when the opponent is unable to call what he would like to, obviously that is a win on our part. But you're going to see a lot of breaking down in this video of those specific formations, plays, and how to exactly attack it, because 6-1 even is a very popular defense, and of course a lot of the times they'll turn that cover 4 into a cover 2 Mabel, and it can get a little bit more frustrating to stop. And you're going to see with this play and some minor adjustments with the route combinations, you're going to absolutely dominate that play, and it becomes a non-factor. But all right, so right now we got a wheel route ran by the triangle receiver. Shout out to Zay Jones for his domestic violence charge. Much respect. And the the square receiver, Christian Kirk, you're going to put him on a streak. The smoke screen is good, and sometimes in cover 2, when you kind of want to get that fade to the sideline, that smoke screen helps kind of bring that flat down. But in this case, cover 3, you're going to want him on a streak, and he's going to be read number 1 on this play. On that seam streak, you're going to be attacking that cover 3 zone, and even cover 1 man. You're going to see that in a bit after cover 3. He's going to be read number 1 on this play, and read number 2 is going to be Evan Ingram, the X receiver, going on the crosser, followed by the backside in route. Of course, you know, this is a standard dagger concept on the other side. We've got a nice high-low with the seam streak, followed by a dagger on the opposite side. Now, what you want to do with the running back is up to you. If you want to leave him on that play action, delay block to hook, all good. If you want to put him on an in, out, if you want to put him on an angle route, all that, you can do whatever you would like. Just for the case of this video, I'm just going to put him on a block. He's not necessarily what I'm showcasing. We'll talk about running back routes later on in this video. I apologize if there is a lot of talking. I'll try to put a timestamp if you want to skip all that, but I mean, I think it's good for you to learn and understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. Right now, you're going to call hike. First read on this play, inside position pass, Christian Kirk, take it down the sideline. If you have a speed receiver, you're going to have no problem splitting those 2 defenders for a big score. We're going to do that one more time. Just inside position pass, and you kind of want to click on, cut off a little bit, and then of course take it upfield. Now the phenomenal part about this is that the seam streak happens a little bit further down the sideline, and of course in cover 3 seam streaks are very strong, but because this happens further down the sideline, it makes it so the hook zones here, ran by Long Jr., nice name, he has no ability to get there further enough, and because he is right here also too far, he has no ability to get there as well either. And on the offensive side, because it is happening behind the line of scrimmage and there is a fade, it attracts that curl flat and makes it so he is unable to activate or play it. And of course, because he is running a fade down the sideline, that outside third cornerback is unable to make a play on that seam, which is why this play is just so strong because, or I should say this route is so strong because the opponent just has no ability to do that unless he wants to absolutely sell out on the play. So if he plays cover 3 zone, he's going to have to go and do this himself. But of course, that is one of our advantages on this play is if he does, then, we'll just flip it. We'll just flip the play and then we'll put Calvin Ridley, the circle receiver, on there. Throw an inside position pass, and I threw that a little bit poorly, but you get the gist on that one, and then you're able to attack the other side of the field. The opponent has no idea where you can go on this play, which adds to our advantage. A lot of the times when you're calling trips and you want to hit a seam streak, on the defensive side where he's going to throw the seam streak. It's just, can you adjust and attack it, or defend it, I should say. But in this formation, he can't, because he doesn't know which side, and he has to either kind of guess or he has to account for both of them. And if he does that, usually he's going to do that in cover. I did want to put some actual legend MUT gameplay into these videos to ensure and show that, hey, these do work in online MUT games, because of course sometimes plays work in practice mode, but they don't necessarily translate into online games against actual people. But I just wanted to show that, here you can see these seam streaks, I'm consistently hitting them, and majority of the time it's against the same player. And then of course, when they start selling out to it, that crossing route, backside in, and all that good stuff is wide open. I believe the last clip in this series is going to be cover 1 man, because I know when I start hitting it in practice mode, people are going to be like, oh yeah, are you sure you can actually do that in online games? But yes, you definitely can when you do execute it properly. This play is phenomenal, and as you can see, really difficult to stop, and this one is cover 1 man. Correctly guards that seam streak. We'll kind of use this to manually guard it to kind of simulate the opponent user taking away that seam streak from you, which is perfectly fine. He is now out of that play because he has to go so far across the field in order to take it away from you. Is now you can attack the opposite side of the field with very little worry that the user is going to be able to come in and undercut it. So one more time, we'll man up that slot receiver to signify the user. And then, that crossing route is absolutely money, because not only will he beat man, but he just fits so perfectly in the zones. Eventually you'll get a user that has to try to bait it and then come down to the crosser. But of course, you have other reads on this play, which would be the backside in route. So of course that is going to clear it. The crossing route is going to clear it and allow you to hit the backside in for an easy gain. And of course, this is with the running back blocking. If you really want to create a high-low concept, you could put the running back on and out towards the dagger side of the field, which gives you a high-low that you could read. And then of course, if you don't like it, he puts a zone drop super high, you could just dump it off to the running back, and I mean, obviously there's your 10 yards right there. And if your opponent is kind of getting a little guessing with that RB route, just send them to the other side. It's no biggie. It's pretty wild. So that's going to be cover 3. It is a wild play, easy to run play, and you'll have immediate success cover 3. It was a huge mistake on the opponent to call cover 3. So I switched it to cover 1, the cover 1 man especially, because one, the user has no responsibilities to roam around the middle of the field and everybody's manned up. But if you look at the cornerbacks and the outside receivers, you're going to notice that the outside cornerback is guarding the underneath receiver. So Howard, a shutdown corner, is going to be guarding number 13, Christian Kirk, the slot receiver, technically the slot receiver, or he might be the outside receiver in this case, but you guys get the gist on that one. So you guys notice the inside receiver, the wheel route ran by Zay Jones, domestic violence champion over here. The triangle receiver, he's going to be run by the inside receiver, and then of course Howard has Christian Kirk. So that means Christian Kirk is always going to have inside positioning on the cornerback. So if you're able to perform the same pass that you did in cover 3, you're going to be able to catch it, no problem. So I'll show you guys right now. Oh shoot, my bad. I should have clicked off. Right here, just boom, inside position pass. Just like that. You're able to do that. It is a little bit of a tighter window throw, but if you have practice and the ability to do so, and especially the receiver that's speedy enough to do so, you're going to be able to attack it every single time. Just right there, he has no ability to actually undercut that route. The best case scenario for him, if you execute it properly, is that he's able to get a hit stick knockout. Other than that, it's just kind of free call and then undercut at that point. That was his best opportunity at it, and of course it still turned up short. But of course, if you notice that it is cover one man, what you could also do, which is a lot easier for the less experienced players, you just put him on a drag. Because I mean, of course, Howard, he's so far away. If you put him on a drag, like, you know, it's not like that cornerback is gonna guard him. Watch, like, call hike, just like that. Look, he has 5 yards of room, 5 yards minimum of room to be able to just kind of throw it to him. Like, he can't call man defense, because even if it is cover 2 man, that same man defense rules applies, where the outside receiver will guard the guy that is bottom most, meaning that 1, not only does he not get pressed, 2, he has leverage on the route. So now the opponent can't, not the opponent, but the defender isn't never going to get there in time. And of course, unless he manually guards it, that drag route will always get open. Let me block the running back right there, just like that. And I mean, you can see there's so much separation. All you have to do is just run away from the cornerback, and you're going to get chunk yards every single time. And of course, that's just the drag route. Like, if you just go on the opposite side of the field, look at that crosser absolutely wide open, because they don't necessarily get pressed in cover 1. And if they do, then the underneath receiver is going to be the one that gets open. And of course, you know, I don't really have to waste too much time on a backside in route and all that. But I mean, you see that is Jalen Ramsey guarding Calvin Ridley, and Calvin Ridley is able to get his inside positioning because he is underneath, meaning that a downward precision pass will always lead him open. Or you can just put him on another drag as well. You can put him on a drag too. You can have both receivers on a drag, and you have a little bit of a high-low between the zones. And I mean, they can't get guarded. Like, what are they going to do? Like, he has no option. He can't call man defense. He calls man defense, it's not fun. He calls cover 3, it's not fun. This play is dirty. It's really a dirty, disgusting play. Like, I say it a lot, and you might think I'm exaggerating, but like, the problem is I'm not exaggerating. Or if you really want, you can put 1 drag and 1 on the seam streak, and if your opponent happens to go to the seam streak, then of course you can hit the drag. It's crazy. And of course, that's without the running back being on a route too. I'm blocking him. Say I put him on a route, and oh god, like I feel bad for my opponents when I call this play. That's why I try not to call this too much, unless like you really piss me off, because like it's a dirty play. Like, I feel bad calling it. You know what? Maybe I'm not being realistic with it, with the user kind of just saying there. You know what? Let me go off their user just so you can see it one time without the user there. Like, it will matter. Like that, he kind of dips down. Okay, say that's the user dipping down and pretending like, okay, he's gonna take away the drag. There's where you go with the crossing. Actually, let's take the user off of that so we can actually see the one of the linebacker play. We're gonna put both drags there. And right now we're seeing Jalen Ramsey getting what is that, like 7 yards of separation? Getting absolutely cooked. This is a phenomenal play. This play is crazy. Not just phenomenal. Like, I feel bad. I feel so bad for my opponents when I call it. So bad. So bad. Like, look at that. But like, everybody's wide open. It's not like I'm exaggerating or joking, right? All right, so now we're in Tampa 2 on the defensive side, and I will say it does a pretty good job on guarding the seam streak. Sure, here I'll show you right now. I mean, you can kind of still throw it, but like a good MUT player probably will be able to click on and lurk that for an interception. I'm not going to sit here and recommend that you throw that, but if you do see cover 2, what you can do is kind of you can have multiple options on what you would like to do on this play. You can leave Christian Kirk on that smoke screen and act as a flat defender. And when you act as a flat defender, you can see if you could bring down the outside corner, which is right here. You can see if it'll bring him down. See if it'll bring him down to guard that smoke screen, and then you're able to hit that wheel route towards the sideline. Or if he doesn't and he keeps playing back, then you're able to just hit the smoke screen for easy yards as a check down. Of course, if your opponent is playing that or the crossing routes, then you're going to hit that check down and then rinse and repeat. So right now we'll leave it, and you can see that guy, he's kind of going out. He's going out. You know what? I'm just going to hit that turn upfield, and that was a nice 8 yards. That was pretty good. Not bad for a check down. You can do as well as you can kind of put ETN on a flat, and then you can put Christian Kirk on the drag, and then we'll call hike, and then of course, you know, just go underneath. Go underneath. Same with the Christian Kirk on the drag, and then you can see ETN on that. He was kind of wide open. Actually, I'll throw it to him this time right here. Throw it, and you could see, because that creates a little bit of a mesh concept. Right here, you can see it wide open. You know, if you got stick skills, you can make something happen other than just gaining quick 8 yards. But I'm not the stickiest person out there in the world. I just pick up my yards and then go down. So that's what makes this play super strong, is right now we're able to create a mesh concept right above me on one side of the field and a dagger concept on the other side of the field. So now whichever way the opponent goes is where you're going to attack in the zones. And of course, eventually a really good opponent is going to manipulate zone drops and those depths in order to kind of defend one and then try to play the other. So if he lowers his zone drops to play the mesh concept, and then of course he's going to use it the dagger, what you're going to do is you're going to put Christian Kirk on a streak, kind of like how we had the previous setup. And especially in cover 2, you're going to want to push that deep safety out here, right here. Boom, you're going to want to push him with the streak so you're able to hit that wheel route fade across the sideline. You're going to see that right here. You're going to hit that perfect hole shot just like that. And of course, if he does have high zone drop still, then you're able to attack the RB underneath. So you have the high-low concept on that side of the field, of course, on the left side of the field with the fade and the mesh. And then of course, you have the dagger as the backside in if you're able to, or if you're unable to make those reads quick enough or accordingly, or the user takes it away, then you go to the opposite side of the field, which makes this such a strong play. Because say he kind of does this, right? Say he goes and commits to this side of the field, right? To kind of take that away, just flip it. Just flip it and do it to the other side. It's crazy. Say you're on one hash and you're kind of feeling more comfortable on another side of the hash, just flip it and throw it to that hash. It's pretty crazy how you're able to just kind of stay in one play and create so many different route combinations to attack the sidelines, the middle of the field, the intermediate, the short, the deep, the outs. It's wild. It's a crazy play. And I really do feel like this is one of those plays that people should charge you for. And the way I have had so much success in my online games with this play and created the most rage quits possible. All right, so 6-1 even is one of the more popular formations and plays that I see. And what happens is people put, their flats to 25 for 30, curl flats to 5 for 10. Maybe they'll put the option defense at conservative, and then they'll call cover 4 quarters. All right, so what they'll do on this play is they'll put the flats to the side. They'll basically make cover 2. They make cover 2 on this play. But what they do is they double Mabel both sides of the field to really attack the outside. So you can't really call flood concepts with a streak, corner, flat, out, yada yada. Any type of flood concept on one side of the field gets taken out. And if you try to do it on both sides of the field, they both get taken out. And then the user in the middle of the field. That makes this play difficult to run. But with our play, it makes it really easy to really hit it, because I mean, just guy, like, wow, it's really easy. Hey, come on, shout out to me for having to set up this play every single time for this video, right? Shout out to me. Hopefully I get a like and a subscribe for all this, because this is a lot to break down, and this play is phenomenal. Like, of course, I'm not going to keep hitting that seam streak over and over. I'll put them on a drag this time, because when they double Mabel, right? Obviously, they're taking away the sidelines, and it would be intelligent of you to surrender the sidelines. And instead of attacking the sidelines, attack the middle of the field. You want to put the user in a bind, and this does that because you're able to attack it still on the sidelines of the field, because they start out so wide on the double stack. You're able to attack the inside from the numbers to the hash, where the user can't necessarily go without completely keeping the other side of the field butt naked. So you're able to still attack the numbers right here, where the user can't go there. And if he wants to go there, you're more than welcoming him to go there, because of course you got chunk plays on the other side of the field. All right, signify the user. Come on. All right, the user right here, he's gonna take away the drag. All right, he's tired of you hitting it. He's tired of you hitting it. And then boom, you just go to the other side of the field. Look at that crossing route, absolutely open. Absolutely open, and just make a move, and then you're up the field. It's crazy. Like, you want the user to kind of come down a little bit, and you want him to take away the drags. And of course, you can hit drags on both sides. There's nothing stopping you from hitting them on both sides of the field, so to make it so your opponent can't go to one side or the other. And if he tries to go to one side or the other, you just go to the other side. Like, it's that crazy of a play where, what's your opponent gonna do? Like ask yourself, if you're watching this video, ask yourself, okay, like, if somebody runs this on me, like, what would I do? And you'll be like, oh no, he still can do this. Like, I can't man up the crosser. The crossing route's gonna get open on me. Oh, I can't zone drop this, because if he does this, then that. Like, you're kind of on defense, or just calling something and hoping the offensive user makes a mistake. And of course, you know, as long as you kind of have some practice on this play, have your confidence up, have your reads nailed down, like it's just not going to happen on this play. Like it's not happening on this. Like right now, like I'll flip it just for the fun. I'll flip it and then attack the other side of the field. Like I don't need to, but just like that, just for fun, I'll do it. Like, yeah, this play is phenomenal. It's such a money play. It's so crazy. And it's almost like, I know I've been kind of going off on it and it's a little cringe that I am, but that's just how good of a play this is, because you're able to attack the field in a dynamic that other formations don't allow you to, just because of the formation in hand. And of course, if you match this with the other play that I go over, which is the Cowboys under center tight doubles play, and run the ball, of course, you know, I'm not much of a runner, but if you are, hey, you know, you'll be all that more unstoppable. But you put those two plays together and you're going to be a very difficult opponent to deal with on the offensive side of the football. So, of course, hey, hopefully I didn't bore you guys out. Hopefully the information I give you guys is good. And hopefully you guys are able to use this play. Actually, I kind of really hope you guys don't use this play, because I really don't want to go against this. Like, this is not fun to go against. I don't want to go against it. But other than that, hey, good luck, everybody.